Ah, yes, DevStream 190. After the old piece is when you will be able to basically access everything that they showed off here because waiting 3 months for them to finally get around to showing off the Devil's Triad, what we got was one ability for the new upcoming frame. Either way, they have basically confirmed the Devil's Triad is going to be after the old piece quest in the update that is confirmed to be coming December. Not that they have ever confirmed things are coming in December and then released it in April before. The goal at the moment is December. That is where they want to release this. They didn't show anything about the old piece. What they did say was wait until November to see anything about the old piece. But we did get to see the new area where, and this is where things did get a little weird, they are basically Entrati fans, doing whatever Entrati wants to do, hence the Devil's Triad. And I could get into more detail about the fact they did show the way that the Gemini skins are going to work, and I'll be honest, some of these were basically, it's the same animation coming out of it as it was going into it, so it's just one animation played twice. Don't know why they really had to show us this, because everything related to the Devil's Triad is going to be accessible after the old piece. So you're not going to be able to do any of this until after you have completed the old piece quest. So my hopes of them ripping this and maybe releasing it in November went flying out the window. I mean, the chances of that were zero. 100% it was zero chance they will ever do this. But yeah, this is going to be the content of update. I can't even call it update 40. Update 39.5? Whatever the old piece actually ends up being called. But they did go in and show us kind of how you get this frame. More on that very soon, possibly. But we only got to see one ability. We waited 3 months, and their hype for this frame was to show us one ability. But oh, what an ability it ended up being. Uriel, the 63rd frame, the Devil frame, will have 3 companions. They did show concept of art of it, and they explained that unlike other frames that have companions that you can tell what to do, these 3, Gulfagor, Katanak, and Viphelis? I can't remember the third one, and I've wrote it down wrong. These are going to be 3 companions that Uriel will have that tell you what to do. Not that we got to see any of this in action, because they then kind of basically turned around and went, yeah, well, guess what? Instead of giving you any more information, or, everything Devil Triad coming in DevStream 190, we didn't get to see the buddies doing anything, apart from maybe flying around sometimes. Shadows, while they showed off his idle animations. Yeah, it wasn't really a great, successful dev stream from Digital Extreme, because they basically only showed us one ability. 3 months to be able to preview a quarter of a frame's abilities. Never mind, because this actually looks like it could be ridiculously good. You enter a mode of, I believe the way they worded it, balefire and brimstone, and when you bullet jump, you will fly around on fire. Reference to being a flaming comet were thrown in a lot of times, like a hell of a lot of times. But I seen this and I instantly went, okay, this is going to be like World on Fire, but anybody who gets close to you is going to be hit by fire. To which they then turn around and says, it gives you an aura of fire around you. Oh yes, this needs to be affected by range. Not for the range of the ability, but for the range of the aura. So as you're flying around, you are setting everything on fire. You can also come to a stop, kind of. You can slow your momentum down and aim at enemies and shoot at them while in this ability. They may have only showed the one ability, but what they managed to show off was we have 3 allies that are going to fly around and help. And we're going to have the ability to do, from the first ability, damaging abilities from a first ability always mean these frames are insanely quick to level up to the second, third, fourth abilities and then beyond, so you can get the abilities to their rank 3 where they are basically at their max damage capabilities, and that's before mods and everything else that are kind of added on that will basically, from one ability, I went from, this has got to be a fire-based frame, and there's, to be fair, that many of them at this point. What are they going to do that's going to be new? They're going to make them fly around, dealing damage from a fire aura, and have the ability to stop and shoot and then carry on flying around. So flying enemies, not a problem. If the other abilities can be cast from within this state, he could actually turn out to be a hell of a good frame. And he needs to be. Digital Extreme have a chance with the first orokin Warframe. The rest of them were made out of... yeah, I nearly did that. The rest of them aren't made of orokin. They are made by orokin. This will be the first one that has an orokin inside of it as a proto frame. So the Gemini swapping over will swap you first orokin Warframe, first orokin proto frame. First time we will be able to play as an orokin, period. Because if you swap to the Gemini skin and run around in game, you're playing as an orokin character. And the abilities really kind of suit this as well. I mean, the story behind it. These are 3 members: Leon, Maria, and Rothi. Are basically Entrati's minions waiting to get commands from him on what to do next. So they work for Entrati. I think that's where the whole Devil Triad thing kind of comes from. And some of the scenes that they were showing, just the area he was flying around in, taking the orokin labs and turning them devilish with things on fire. This could actually be one of those updates that we're all expecting the old piece to be the big part of this update. There's a high possibility that the Devil's Triad could actually be what adds some content to this update outside of one storyline quest that we won't be able to finish till the end of 2026 when we head back to Tau. More importantly, we won't see anything else of till TennoCon 2026, which was confirmed 10th and 11th of July. That is where they're going to show us Tau, where we will see our first endeavours into Tau. So the old piece is going to be a good quest, but this frame? This frame could actually, just from showing us a quarter of what the frame is able to do, leaves us with a hell of a lot more questions as to what they've been doing for 4 months. But nonetheless, actually looks like he could possibly be another amazing frame. Kind of needs to be. High expectations on this one. Will they let us down? We'll have to just wait and see. But with that, we've gone on way too long. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.